welcome to another edition of the Stogie Review video review. I am Walt White, and back once again to take advantage of the nice weather and smoke a cigar. And this particular week I have the Camacho Coyolar. Now it's been quite a while since I've had one of these cigars. Actually, I think the last one I had was in Vegas at IPCPR. Camacho was handing out. They had girls walk around with silver platters, and they had Rothschild-sized cigars on one of these platters. And one of the couple that I picked up during the 4 nights of drinking and having a good time was the Coyolar, as well as the 10th anniversary. Now, this cigar has a reputation, or at least had the reputation with me, for being, the Mac Daddy of strong cigars. I had a few people tell me on numerous occasions that if you wanted to smoke a cigar that was really powerful and just full of body, that you needed to look at the Camacho Coyolar. So that's what I did, and initially I was blown away just by the sheer strength and power. And since things sort of have become redefined, a full-bodied cigar is a little bit more than what it used to be. Since the release of the La Flor Dominicana Cheroot, the La Flor Dominicana Double Ajero, Camacho Triple Maduro, Opus X, and whatnot, you're seeing more of these real powerhouses redefine, what I traditionally thought of as a full-bodied cigar. So it's about 2:30 in the afternoon. I've got my Camacho Coyolar ready to go. So give me just a second. I'm going to clip my cigar, get it lit, so I can have use of both hands. I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, we'll see how the Camacho Coyolar gets started. Alright, well, welcome back. This time I'll try not to step directly into the sun as I'm talking to you, but I've got my cigar lit, my Camacho Coyolar. Actually, I wasn't thinking, I didn't think this whole thing through. Actually, I should have cut the cigar, going over the characteristics of it with you, and then lit it off camera. But now I got to try to remember all the pre-light stuff. Pre-light draw was a little firm for a Camacho. The pre-light flavor was sort of earthy. It was kind of subdued. Nothing really prominent. Color is good, nice and consistent. The spiral down the cigar, the seam. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. I keep looking up to see what my dog's doing. But at any rate, the seam's very apparent. The color is very consistent, and it looks pretty good. The cap appears to be solidly constructed, and all in all, it's a good-looking cigar. Now, I got my cigar lit. It's producing a good volume of smoke. The draw is still a little firm, but the smoke density, the smoke volume is all very good. It's along the lines of what I like. The body is a bit surprising. It's not quite as full as I remembered it being. It's been a little while since I've had one of these, but the body's full, but it's not quite over the top. It's medium to full, a little, actually much lighter than I would have suspected. But I've got a lot of cigar to go, and I actually just got it lit. So until I get far enough into the cigar where it actually starts to come together, and I'm more than 3-4 puffs into it, I'm going to take another quick break. I'll be back when the cigar begins to develop a little bit. And judging by the picking up of the wind and the cloud cover, all of a sudden, looks like I may be stepping inside due to a little bit of rain. But I'm going to stick it out here as long as I can. So sit tight. I'll be right back. Alright, well, welcome back. I'm plugging right along. As you can see, maybe it's focused, maybe it's not. I don't know. The LCD screen's on the back. But at any rate, as you can see, I'm probably an inch, maybe a little bit more into the cigar. The first third's turning out pretty nice. The ash is fairly dark in color. It's a little flaky. As you can see, it's not totally compacted. I've got just a little bit of flowering going on. Fairly dark in color, but it seems fairly strong. It hasn't fallen off yet. The winds, it kind of picks up and then dies down, so I'm kind of surprised it's held on as long as it has. Just knocked the ash off the end of the cigar. Took a firm tap, and it came right off. I've got a clean burning stick once I did that, Body's medium to full, more along the lines of full at this point. Finish is smooth, mildly creamy. I'm getting a little spice through the sinuses, mostly a heavy earthy flavor. And really, that's about it. The cigar hasn't sort of blossomed into everything I expected it to just yet, but it's well on its way. It's going very well, and I'm very happy with it. So, with that said, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. We'll take a look at the second third of my Camacho Coyolar and see how it goes. So sit tight. Well, welcome back. As you can see, my dog is very content chewing on a dead limb. It's amazing. He won't stop chewing on little sticks and branches. So I keep taking him away, and now he's learning that if he runs away, it's harder for me to get a hold of him. So he comes across this big branch, and I don't really mind him chewing on dead wood. I don't want him eating pine needles from things like that pine tree up there, or that pine tree right there, or that one, or that one, or that one, or that one, or the one up above my house. I don't want him chewing pine needles, but something like that, I guess, is okay. But that really has nothing to do with the review. So let's get back on topic here. My Camacho Coyolar is going very well. Right after I turned the camera off, it really opened up, became much more full-flavored, much more full-bodied, and just so much better. It's very rich. It's got a very deep, rich, earthy base to it, and I'm not quite sure how to describe it. It's almost like it's just like, you know how, like, if you smell mulch, it smells one way, but if it's damp, it smells so much richer. No, the flavor's the same way. It just seems like it's got a rich, like, earthy aroma to it, and I'm just very happy with it. The smoke volume is good. I'm still getting a mouthful of smoke with each puff. The smoke is thick, it's dense, it's easy to get through the sinuses. Doing these reviews outside is very difficult because I'm so easily distracted, and I got the dog running around, I got neighbors walking around. So there's a lot of things that distract me. So if these things seem poorly structured as far as the other reviews go, my apologies for that. But since these are short ashes and very short, I guess I'm allowed to sort of veer off topic quite a bit. But all in all, I'm enjoying the cigar. It's doing very well. Body has picked up quite a bit. It's full. I'm not sure whether I mentioned that or not. It's full flavored, full bodied. It's the finish is smooth. It's gotten much more creamy at this point. And all in all, it's been a pleasurable cigar so far. So I'm gonna stick with it a little bit. The only complaint that I have is that cigar seems to be burning a little fast. Now I don't know whether it's because the wind's picking up and the cigar's getting a breeze across it constantly. That and the fact that I'm puffing on it. I'm not sure whether that's accelerating it or not, but that's really the only fault the cigar has at this point. So that's my only complaint. So sit tight. I'll be back. We'll do the final third, wrap up this short ashes review, and I'll let you be on your way. So sit tight. Alright, well, I'm back. It is the final third of my Camacho Coyolar, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. It still seems to be smoking a little fast, but no real complaints. I really thought that the cigar kind of went full throttle earlier, in that the body picked up quite a bit, the flavor picked up quite a bit, and there was a lot going on. But as Brian Hewitt likes to say about the El Cobre, it feels like all of a sudden the flavor in the body and all that is applied with like a paint roller. It just goes on really thick and really heavy. And I just got like an instant increase in body and flavor out of the cigar, and I like it. It's getting increasingly heavier, increasingly full flavored, and I think it's great. I'm really into it. The body is obviously full. The finish is smooth. It's creamy. It lingers on the palate a little bit. Get a little bit of that zing, that little bit of an aggressive feel across the tongue and the palate. The flavors are very interesting. They're primarily like a wet, earthy flavor. Very rich, very deep, very complex. There seems to be a lot of subtleties there. I'm having difficulty picking them out when I'm not really sitting down and taking notes and focusing primarily on the cigar. In this case, I'm just sort of enjoying the weather, pacing around, playing with the dog a little bit here and there, and really that's all there is to this cigar, or at least that's all that I'm doing. The smoke volume is good. It's nice and dense. It's thick. The again, I'm easily distracted. I'm sort of losing my train of thought. The smoke is dense, it's thick, it's easy to get through the sinuses. As you blow through the sinuses, I'm getting a little bit of sort of like a black pepper. The burn rate, again, it seems a little elevated, but it probably has something to do with the wind that's been picking up all afternoon. The burn line is thin. It's even for the most part, which is kind of surprising too because of the wind. I really expected it to be sort of all over the place in terms of, the burn line. I just didn't expect it to be even because of wind changing directions, blowing it from different sides. I expected it to be a little cattywomp, but it's behaving very well. The draw is still a little firm for a Camacho, which is kind of surprising, but it's providing lots of smoke, and if it's a little firm and it continues to provide lots of smoke, I don't mind it so much. It's when it gets firm and the smoke seems kind of airy and lacking that I start to mind, but in this case it's going very well. Sort of just going over what I just said in my mind, and I think I hit everything. I don't know that I'm forgetting anything, but all in all, I thought it was a very good cigar. I liked it. I don't remember quite what I paid for it. I think it was around $5. I got a Robusto size, and I think it may have been $5.25, something like that, at my local cigar shop. It doesn't replace the Corojo Maduro that I've come to enjoy quite a bit. I think they're on equal playing fields. They're different. I really don't prefer one over the other, but I enjoyed it, and I think it's a good value. And I'd strongly recommend this cigar if you like full-bodied cigars that get progressively fuller as you go. It starts off medium to full, and then kind of skyrockets into the far end of that full-bodied spectrum that I was talking about earlier. So again, I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I'm going to enjoy the weather a little bit more. Probably smoke this down until it starts burning my fingers, and then I don't know, probably head inside for a little bit and then fire something else up. So until next week, happy smoking.